wrongs? What have I done? You've forgotten the words to our song. Now it's gone. Take it back just for one night. Take all the wrongs and pretend that we're alright. Feel the rhythm in our souls, let them entwine. Cause you know what you can do to me. It's not fair, I don't care. Take you there, make you mine before we're out of time. Let's synchronize. Let's synchronize. Let's synchronize.
And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I know we're a couple of minutes late, but as promised, we are here for a very, very special announcement for what some could consider the future of the Will English Invitational. I'm Will English IV, and I've got my friend, I don't want to say mentor. You're not a mentor, but you're definitely a friend and compatriot to this thing. The other person that's been kind of kicking ass and putting things together, Captain Jack. How are you doing, Captain Jack?
Well, I only got a couple hours sleep last night, but needless to say, I feel like the next hour, and believe me when I say the next hour, folks, you're going to see that it's all well worth it. We've been putting together a lot of work behind the scenes for this announcement, and I assure you, you will not be disappointed.
Yes, I promise you, this is all worth the wait. So I'm just going to stall for a little bit longer and just say a couple of things before we get started. Number one, thank you all. Thank you to the Overwatch community. This announcement is related to Overwatch. And you can, again, everybody can probably guess by this point, but I just want to say thank you because this has been a crazy, crazy, crazy journey. When I started this thing back in January, I didn't think I would be here. I didn't think we would be able to do everything we're about to put together. The response from the community is absolutely being insane. And ever since the Invitational 2, we wanted to do something more. Like the challenge of the Invitational is like we always want to do better, right? We don't want it to be, we don't want to take it for granted. We don't want to think like, okay, we've done this and we're the best. And now since the Invitational 2, we are spoken, our tournament and our series and our staff and our players are spoken in the ranks of Open Division and speaking in the ranks of contenders trials as such. We have had players and teams that have come through our tournaments and have played in some of the biggest tournaments in the year. Now we don't have an invitational to Overwatch League player yet, but I imagine in the future we should do so. But either way, we are spoken in that highly of an echelon here, and I'm really appreciative of that. We've worked very hard to kind of to keep that in place and kind of keep that standard of quality up to 11. Now, between the Overwatch Invitational 2 and now what we're working on, we've had other friends and family tournaments, we've had other engagements, we've done other games, but but everyone has come out. Every time we've announced something, everyone comes out. Even the last second stuff we did yesterday with our charity event yesterday, we had people last second coming out to help out, and I'm also appreciative of that as well. And so let's not stall any further, Captain Jack. You ready for this?
I'm ready. Let's do it to it.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to announce that we are doing the Overwatch Invitational 3 coming up in October. The first date for the Overwatch Invitational 3 will be October 7th, and that will be our standard draw show. Now, this is just the tip of the iceberg, ladies and gentlemen. The reason why we had to delay this announcement as long as we have is that we actually have a custom license from Blizzard. So we applied for a custom license back in April, actually, ladies and gentlemen. We applied for this back in April after the Invitational 2, and it's taken this long to get it approved. So we don't have approval of everything yet, which is so we'll try to reveal the information that we can talk about right now. But let me trust me, we are working through our approvals for other stuff. But we got approval to soft announce this right now. And I know people have been chomping at the bit. So there it is. There it is. It's out. It's out in the open. It's official. The Overwatch Invitational 3 Okay, so now that I've said that, so let's walk it back for one step. So you may notice that the name had to change a little bit. So with the custom license comes a few things. The first is like the name has to change. So it's not the Will English Invitational going forward right now, at least while we're working under the license, is the Overwatch Invitational and then the Overwatch Invitational 3. We can still call it IV3. That's what we're gonna call it, internally and on Twitter and stuff like that. So hashtag IV3. But the idea is that with the custom license comes a few things. We had to change the name, so Overwatch had to be the name first. Number two, yes, we have to approve everything. So when I say everything, that means everything. It's like every time we want to do something, we have to go, okay, we need to get this in approval, and then it's going to take a while to approve, and then we'll go through it. But more than likely, I want to also thank Elohell Esports and Project Gap. Both of those organizations has helped us through this approval and license process and has gotten us this far. And with their help and advice, we definitely will be pushing forward. So the fact that we got it approved is mostly thanks to both of those organizations helping us and advising us on how we go about it. So the other thing that this provides us is that now we have access to larger prize pools, for example. So one of the limitations we had at the Invitational 2 is per the community license, you can only donate $1,000 per donator or per resource, and every other avenue of income or setup or support would have to go directly into the prize pool and not support the organization. So now that's changed because now the only thing is we just need to get it approved through Blizzard. And it's also less restrictions as well because according to our agreement, we don't have to worry about, for example, if Coca-Cola is a sponsor of the Overwatch League, for example, we would have to avoid a soda sponsor. But there's, it's just little minutiae things like that. So that's more of the boring parts of the thing, again, but we've had to work hard to kind of, get our stuff in compliance. We've had other advice in our places, but that's mostly why this announcement got delayed. And also, now that we've gone through this process, from what I understand, it's going to be easier for future tournaments going forward. And so we'll definitely have some more news about that coming up later on in this hour that we're going to be having here. But Captain Jack, why don't you talk about some of the other exciting things we have set up for IV3. I mean, this is, like I said, this is tip of the iceberg, ladies and gentlemen, tip of the freaking iceberg. But you, my friend, have been working extremely hard on kind of the background operations all year long, and this is as much as your homecoming it is mine. So why don't you go ahead and talk about your sections and stuff?
Yeah. So I mean, let's start off with the thing that everybody wants to know right now. Registration is open now for IV3. If you want to sign up for IV3, and I don't think Will actually said this earlier as I was trying to monitor everything that was going on, but the Invitational is no longer just North America. We will have 32 teams from North America and 32 teams from the European region. That's right, folks. We are fully going in, no holds bar to the European region, and we're going to be giving you the Will English Invitational experience that you all have been begging for. Last time around, I know some people were kind of upset at what happened with the EU during IV2. It was the last minute thing, 48 hours for teams to sign up. Like, that's what we were like that's kind of what we were given. Somebody was like, hey, you should do this. And we're like, okay, we don't have a lot of time, but we'll do the best we can. But this time we're doing it right. So if you hit !registerNA or !registerEU, it will give you the respective links for those two tournaments. Now, right now, we'll talk about this a little bit later on, but we are using the website Challenger mode for those of you that don't know, that is a bracket website that is utilized by the internet browser Opera. We're kind of in some conversations with them about maybe helping with prize pool and things like that. So that's where we're starting things off with. And more on that later. But let's get into the schedule. I know you all want to know what's going to be going on. And to be honest, things are going to be starting long before October 7th. So
actually, let me just mention one thing. Yep. The fact that we're doing the EU tournament is also thanks to Project Gap as well. Yes. Like that is that would not be possible without the organization, and we're going to rely on them heavily. They're kind of like our unofficial EU arm of this whole operation here. We're just here to provide, you know, kind of the hype and everything else. But this was an ask from IV2. I mean, I you know, again, the response was insane. You mentioned 48 hours, but we filled it up like in less than 10. It was just literally like we announced it got full, and even though they were like let's also be honest, like those also based on, you know, Nate's from Shay's Shoes Money Crew. So, you know, that's who said, you know, hey, you should do a tournament. And I'm like, okay, yes, I'm going to do a tournament. I don't care what it is. And I ended up, you know, basically solo producing, organizing, and setting it up myself. And so that, you know,
we're not doing that this time.
We're not doing that this time. So it should be a lot easier on ourselves, on our production staff, the whole nine. We're definitely going to make this easier. But trust me, EU fans, I told you we're coming back. We definitely are. So you're going to get, as Captain Jack mentioned, you're going to get the full experience, and it's really thankful to the community and the response for that. So why don't you continue on talking about the schedule? Because like I said, you got more of the juicier bits.
Yes, let me go ahead and get into that. So as I was saying, the Invitational is actually going to start long before October 7th when we do the draw show, because this time around, at least for the NA, we're going to be doing what is called a qualifier round, and we'll get more into the reasons for the qualifiers here in a little bit as I get later into the schedule. But basically, you're going to be qualifying for a spot in the top 16 for the North American tournament. Now, the top 16 we have designated as teams and organizations that have supported the Invitational over the past year, have participated in a majority of our tournaments, you know, have been looking for ways to help us along our path to grow and bring teams in, as well as our champion and runner-up from last season are also part of that top 16. And they're going to get a special power, if you will, going into the Invitational draw show. Now, the qualifier is for two. We have two qualifiers for two top 16 spots. They're going to be put together by the Avidity organization as well as DePaul University Esports organization. Right now, we only have the date for the DePaul Esports one, which is September 23rd. It's going to be, at least by what we understand thus far, we don't have it all hammered out yet, just your basic 8-team double elimination tournament. You know, we're just kind of going for very simple, very, very easy. But the winner of that will receive an invitation to the top 16 for the North American Draw Show. And this time around, we realize that there's probably going to be a lot more than 32 teams that want to sign up for this thing. So we have an entire weekend set aside before the draw show, October 2nd and 3rd, where we here at the Invitational will be running our 30-second spot gauntlet, the last chance gauntlet to get in. It's going to be very similar, you know, at either a single double elimination tournament that will consist of everyone that signs up after the 31st spot. So think about it this way. Top 16 are already seeded. That means for North America, you have to be one of the first 15 spots to be locked into the Invitational. If you get 16 or later, you will get thrown into the gauntlet, and you have to participate that weekend to qualify for that final spot. All right? So if you're going to sign up early and sign up quickly. That's all I got to say. We're not waiting. We know people are chomping at the bit. So if you wait, you will have to take extra steps. You'll have to take extra steps to get into it. You know, there are other contingencies that we're doling about depending on how big that after 32 gets, but we'll get to that in the future if we get there.
Right. So let's break this down for a couple seconds here. So what I'm hearing you say, Captain Jack, is that basically there are 4 ways to get into the Invitational this time around.
Yes.
It's not 100% open. So that's the first thing we want to talk about. So we've gotten a little bit more serious as time has gone on, where now we're in a place where we can't do it 100% open. And we can't do it 100% open and have it be fair to every team that comes in, whether you're at the top rank or at the bottom rank, right? So the idea is that, like, there's 4 ways to get in. first way is that, yes, we've been in contact with teams already in the past 3 weeks. And some of those teams know who they are. We're going to ask them politely to not reveal their positions just yet until we do. But some of the teams already know, and I can tell you that we've got some extremely good competition. Like again, our pedigree speaks ahead of us now, and there are teams that have basically they try to call their spot. It's like, hey, we want it next time. And we go, yeah, we'll consider that. We can definitely consider that. Yeah. So that's on the one way. So the teams that are invited know who they are. And we are going to, so we only have, like as you mentioned, we only have 2 qualifiers for the top 16 spot. Now, we also probably are not going to, unless you want to, Captain Jack, we're not going to reveal the advantage the top 16 will have, but.
I was getting there. I was going to talk about it during the draw show.
Okay, cool. So then I'll finish this up and I'll get out of your way then. So,
all right.
So one way is you get directly invited by us. And again, if you are a team out there that wants to join this madness that is the Invitational, give us a call. We might be able to accommodate you. We might not. But the second way is registration is open. Registration is open now, and that is an open registration. We're looking for teams that are fully you have to get your 6 in, right? It can't be half in, half out. But when we find out you have a full rack of 6 players at the very minimum, that's your confirmation spot, and that's time stamped, right? Now, the last way is, as you mentioned, we have the last chance qualifier for spot 32, which will take place regardless, right? So regardless of how this is set up, the 32nd spot will be fought for in the last chance qualifier, and then that's all you, Captain Jack. What I've told Captain Jack is that so I am not going to be in town. It is all you. So you get to set this up however you want. So if you want Captain Jack to take it easy on you, you got to talk to him, not to me. Don't complain to me about it because you had plenty of other opportunities to get in. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so now there is a chance that we might open up more qualifiers. There's a chance, and I just want to reiterate that at the end of the day, when we start this tournament off, we want to have 32 teams. That's our goal. Our goal is to have 32 teams play into the bracket. That's what we have the timing and structure and infrastructure for. We're trying to find ways to involve more teams, but that we need help to do that, right? So the format may change if depending on interest and availability. Who knows, right? But for now, those are the 4 ways you can get in. So now you can talk more about the draw show.
All right. So fast forward to October 7th. It's a Thursday where we'll be doing the NA and EU draw shows. So we'll be starting off, of course, because we don't want to keep our EU folks up late. We're going to be starting off with the EU draw show, and it's going to be very similar to the format of the Invitational too. So we will draw all 32 teams randomly, and you'll be seated randomly. We'll be talking about anticipated team pairs. We're looking to have an analyst desk this time around to kind of be, doing research on the teams ahead of time so that you get a little bit more information about what these matchups could actually look like when anticipated. And that's essentially going to be the draw show for the EU at this point in time. So again, that very traditional invitational experience when it comes to the draw show. And yes, of course, we'll be bringing out the ping pong balls for all that.
Yep, I will be there live and in person to do all of that. It's going to be fun.
Yeah. So then we're going to move on to the North American draw show, and it's going to be a little bit different. So once again, the top 16 have been locked in either by invitation or by the qualifiers. So the top 16 are actually the ones that are going to be random drawn for the group stages. So the top 16 will be seeded and they will be randomly drawn. The next part of that, and this is the benefit of being in the top 16, the top 16 get a choice into who they will face in round 1 of the group stage.
Yep.
We have set aside, and I guess we might as well announce this because these teams, it would take people 2 seconds to look back at the Battlefy to see this. The top 2 teams, obviously, are our champions from IV2, Lo-Fi AIM, and our runner-up, Solstice. They are locked in at points 1 and 2, but points 3 through 16 are random draw. So it could be anybody that gets to select from 3rd to 16th. Obviously, you hope the balls are in your favor if you're in the top 16 because you get a lot to choose from. But if you end up being in that 16th spot and you're the last team in the bottom 16 that hasn't been chosen, and that's just the way the chips fall. So we
Yeah.
felt that this was going to be a very interesting way to kind of involve the teams and kind of create maybe a little bit more chaos,
Yeah,
if you will,
it's gonna
in the
be
group
it's definitely gonna
stage.
be a little bit of drama, and even in
Mm-hmm.
our our kind of working through stuff, right? We're almost creating a draw show and kind of like the NFL draft, right? Kind of the drama of
Yeah.
the NFL draft. Now, mind you, we have written some rules so that people don't like trade spots and don't like offer money for spots and stuff like that. It's like we're not
Mm-hmm.
doing that. We're not accepting bribes here, people. It's like it
Nope.
is literally not only the luck of the draw, but there's gonna be so much gamesmanship going on. There's this opportunity, there's so much gamesmanship that could potentially happen, right? In this whole tournament that I can't wait to I can't wait to see. There's only scenarios that we can think of, right? That we can think of like how we will respond to certain things, and they may show us something else. Somebody else might pull up a strategy in this whole thing that may benefit them. Who knows? But yeah, so this was an idea presented by our team, and I love it. I mean, like I love it. I couldn't have come up with any better than myself. And again, as you mentioned, Captain, yeah, we're trying to reward teams that have supported us all year long in all of our tournaments. So this is, we're not this top 16. These top 16 teams are not just our friends, right? We're not just throwing random pug teams into this. You'll know who they are once they come out, and you'll know why they're in top 16. They definitely deserve to be here. And again, it's just a reward to helping us out. And then later on, we're this will probably extend even further into future invitationals. And so we want to work in ways to reward teams that have participated in our events, large and small. Like it doesn't need to be the invitational that you can participate in. We have so many other opportunities for stuff all over the year, and especially with Overwatch 2 coming. I mean, I imagine there's gonna be a mad rush to kind of do some farewell stuff and everything else. We definitely have plans for the future to do larger and larger invitationals. I mean, I know my staff is freaking out in the background right now, but
we need more hints.
We'll get there eventually. We will definitely get there eventually. But anyway, continue on. So so that is the twist that we're putting together for the NA Draw Show, and I literally cannot wait. I cannot wait to share with you all the teams that we have already signed. We like all the people that we already have interested. And again, Avidity and Nepal, like they are going to be providing qualifiers for us as well. And so those are your opportunities, ladies and gentlemen. Like if you're in the, so also to follow up just a little bit, if you are in the open side of the things, if you register for NA and you have one of those open spots, even if you're spot 17 in the open side, right, you can play in both of these qualifiers and make it into the top 16. And if you do that, it just shifts your position up, right? So like this is not saying that you're locked into this position on the open side. You can fight for one of those last two spots, right? On the top 16 side, and then you have even a bigger opportunity. So that's kind of the other thing too, is we're rewarding. Avidity has always been a fan of our organization, and they've been enthusiastic. I think they even put together a Valorant team for the other thing we did too. So it's just like it's like. This is kind of us giving back to the community, and you're giving an opportunity at kind of the shot here. So what else do we got? I mean, like I said, this is a lot going forward, and we'll try to recap this as much as we can towards the end of this. But like, what else do we got? Like what else do we got that we can talk about?
Yeah, and honestly, a majority of this stuff you will be able to see in the rule book, which we will discuss a little bit later. If you want to go ahead and start looking at that, it's not 100% complete, but you can actually hit !rulebook in the chat, and it'll give you a link to that if you want to start reading through that. So the next stage, obviously, once the draw shows are completed, the opponents have been chosen and everyone is seated, we go into the group stage. That will be Saturday, October 9th and Sunday, October 10th. Now, we got some feedback from IV2. We were trying to make it so that people weren't playing a heck of a ton of matches all weekend or in a particular day, and we heard you. We're trying something new this time around to try to make it work out, and we're going to do essentially a divided group stage, I guess is the way that you could put it, where we will have 2 groups from the EU and 2 groups from NA participate on the same day. So right now we have scheduled for October 9th, which is Saturday, groups 1 and 3 for both EU and NA will play their entire group stage on that day. And then for October 10th, that Sunday, groups 2 and 4 will then play on that day. A little caveat that we also added to the group stage, and this is something we're still toying around with because I know that not everybody was a big fan of the second random draw going into the playoffs. And so we're trying to mitigate that a little bit because we still want to make it competitive. Like the whole reason we want it to be random is so that it's not just, the big guy stomping out the little guy, so to speak. But we also don't want to be seeing our finals matches or our semifinals matches in the round of 16. So we are actually going to play out the winners finals for seeding. And the top 4 will be separately seeded from the way the rest of the 5 through 16 going into the playoffs will be seeded. So you do not want to slack off in the group stage. If you want your chance to be able to seat yourself well, you definitely want to make sure that you are essentially the winner of your group stage.
Yep.
And that is going to be the same both for everything from here on out is the same for EU and NA. The process is exactly the same. And we're going to run it very similar to Open Division. So we're going to be starting off the day in the EU. We'll go through the entire EU group stage, Saturday, groups 1 and 3, Sunday, groups 2 and 4, and then we'll take a little hour break and then go to the North American side where we'll do groups 1 and 3 on Saturday, groups 2 and 4 on Sunday. And that's how we'll finish it out. And then by the end of the weekend, on Sunday, before we close out both the EU and NA streams, the top 16 going into the playoffs will be seeded. So you will have 1 week to prepare for your opponents. You will know who you will be facing for your first round and for your possible upcoming rounds of the playoffs the next weekend.
Right. So let me just recap this for a quick second. So we have divided the group stages. So the last time, if you remember, we tried to basically do this entire tournament, and we're not going to mention why we had to move stuff, because we're friends now. But the idea is that it is 4 days. It is going to be 4 days of competition, effectively, but now it's spread out over 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. So if you're in the group stages, right, you're only going to have to play one day. You're going to have to play Saturday or Sunday. So we're going to ask teams to be available both days to see where they end up in the random draw. But you only have to play one of those 2 days. And then if you make it into top 16, you get another week to prepare, and you get to play next weekend. And then if you I don't know if you finished mentioning this, but the grand finals will be on the Sunday so that would be October 17th. Now,
nope, that's the next part of the schedule.
Yeah, sorry. So I'm
no worries.
I'm just recapping, so you can go ahead and talk about that.
All right. So we are going to do something a little bit fun in between all this as well. So on Friday, October 15th, we're actually going to be looking to do an AllStar Showdown.
Yes.
We're going to be sending out. We don't have it prepped yet, obviously, because we also don't have all the teams yet, so it's not that big of a deal just yet. But on Friday the 15th, we're going to be doing an All-Star Showdown where we'll essentially get volunteers from teams that would like to participate to just do some random competitive matches. So, very similar to an all-star draw, we'll pick 2 players. They'll have a group of players that they can choose from. And it'll be Pug's rules, essentially. They'll get to choose who the players are joining their team. It'll go back and forth, and then they'll play out a couple matches, just for funsies. And this is available for both EU and NA. We still got to figure out the logistics around that, but we want it to be fun. We also want to do a talent and staff match that day. So if you are a caster, a producer, if you are a member of the IVitational staff, or I would even say, and we can talk about this because I know that our staff is actually quite low, maybe even extending that to the staff of the teams as well.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Well, we'll talk about that more and clarify that in the future. But we'll do the same thing for talent and staff, so that Sim is all ready to run down mid. So everybody be ready to chase after Sim Babel. And then at the end of the night, we're just gonna have custom FFA or team modified games. So, again, it's just meant to be fun. And, this will be all part of the sign up form. So if you don't want to participate in the competitive AllStar Showdown, but you want to do, say, a Torbhammer Brawl on a paintball, you want to do a game at 300% speed, you want to do single role control maps, where it's, all tanks or all supports or all DPS, those are all going to be options that we'll be presenting and possibly even allowing the community to choose that evening. So you might not know what you're participating in until the very last moment. So keep it a little spicy.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, we've been wanting to do this kind of like this talent takedown match. I mean, if I'm being really, really honest, like I want to play in a match that it's casted by someone else. Like I want the glory. God damn it. Okay, we've done so much for some of the other teams. Like let me get a chance at it, right? I want Zimbabwe to cast something that I'm doing, right? And I'll trade out too. So the things we set this up. I got a month and a half to trade up and whatever.
Yeah, totally. I love Sim's comment though. What do I do? Do I play or do I roast Will's gameplay? You set yourself up for that, Will. You set yourself up for it. I hate to say
Sim.
Yes, of course, our EU compadres. You, of course, are also invited to participate in this. We would definitely not leave any of you out. So
yeah. So all I have to say to you, Zimbabwe, is choose wisely, my friend. Choose wisely.
Well, ideally,
choose wisely.
Ideally, in matches like this, you technically will have players take the place of the casters. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So if any players want to show us how it's done, we see your comments as casters. All right, saying that you can do it better. Show us you can do it better. All right.
Right.
So, but to be completely honest, as we're talking about staff and whatnot, we are always welcome to new staff, whether that be casters, producers. We definitely need administrators. We've got 64 teams coming in here, folks. We need hands. We need people that are willing to help and that are dedicated to help us succeed. So if you're interested, feel free to reach out to Will or myself on Discord, and we'll get you set up. And come heck or high water, we will find you a place that fits your that fits what you want to give back to this community. So
and just to interject one more time to that point. Listen, y'all. This is probably the greatest opportunity to work within the Overwatch community. If you want to start your esports career, if you want to, get a leg up in certain aspects of it, we're only going to get better. We're only going to get bigger, right? And on top of that, I've had multiple casters that started off with me. Clutchy, for example, is a great example of this. He comes in and he's like, no, I'm not that good, but here's my demo tape. Like, dude, I don't need your demo tape. The fact that you raised your hand is good. If you raise your hand and say you want to do this, that's currency enough for me. That's good enough for me. We get you in, we try stuff out, and there's so many opportunities. Like I said, yesterday when we did the charity event, right? Like, everybody was just appreciative that we were able to put this together, right? So if this is your first time casting, Frankie Sisto, God bless him, right? He told me the same thing in January after IV1, and then now, I've had random conversations where people are like, "Oh yeah, Frankie's a good caster," and I'm like, "Huh? Oh, okay, cool." That was just like his third match ever doing so. Thunder McFadden has come through our program, and he did some Overwatch yesterday. So the thing is, don't be intimidated by the level of talent we have here. We're gonna put that front and center, but we have 4 matches at a time pretty much all weekend. We need 8 casters for all of it, right? So if you want in, if you want to try it out, this is your time, this is your opportunity, and who knows, you might get the match of a lifetime like Thunder did. And so I appreciate it to everybody. But those are just a few of the people that have come to me and said they have no experience whatsoever, and I'm like, look, try it out, see what happens, right? Who knows? You might be casting with Captain Jack. That's how Frankie got there, right?
That's rough. That's rough. I feel sorry for anybody that's got to cast with that Captain Jack guy. That's rough. So, anyways,
so continue on.
Let's go ahead and finish out the schedule here. So obviously we're heading into playoffs weekend. Saturday, October 16th is going to be the North American and European playoffs. It will be, again, very similar to Open Division. We'll start with the round of 16 and end with the semifinals. And then Sunday, October 17th, is the North American and European Grand Finals. So the last match of the entire tournament will be played that day. To explain, I think I've forgotten to say this along the way, but it is in the rules if you've been reading them already. Every match up to this point, up to the grand finals, is first to three.
Yes.
That's another thing that we heard from y'all, that you felt that, you weren't getting enough gameplay, especially if you were eliminated in the group stage. So we wanted to give that back to you, provide, maybe a little bit of a last ditch effort, that extra map to kind of swing the tide in your favor, get that beep beep reverse sweep going. So we are doing first to three from group stage all the way to the semifinals. And then Sunday, for the grand finals, of course, we'll start with the European grand finals and then end with the North American grand finals, with possibly kind of like a special show in between. We're still working on it. So
still working on the schedule, but
yeah,
we got some time.
If you're production folks and you're interested in doing something fun with us and you got some ideas, let us know.
Sure.
But that will be a first 2-4 series. So, just like Open Division, like nobody will have the first point advantage because it's just a single elimination playoffs. So nobody's going to be coming out of the winners bracket per se, but it will be whoever gets to 4 wins first will take away the victory. Now, of course, I know you all are asking at this point, what we win in? Where's the money at, Captain Jack? And Will, do you want to cover this, or would you like me to cover this? It's completely up to you.
Okay, so I'll try to cover part of it, and then you can judge me on how much I've covered it for. So,
no.
As we've mentioned, so now that we have the Blizzard custom license, it opens up possibilities for for setting this up. Also, we've had some major community members come through and make suggestions to us. So I'm going to just talk about the first thing, that no matter what happens, their lease is going to be $500 in both prize pools, guaranteed by me. That is I can promise you that. But hopefully by the time we're done with this, and if we get everything we're asking for, it won't be even be an issue. We're probably going to blow past all of that. Our goal for this event is to do $2,000. Okay, so that's the goal, right? So we're putting it out there, and we're going to manifest it now. So for the record, we did the Invitational 1, that was self-funded by me. And when we did the Invitational 2, you donated to it, Beak donated to it, and so did I. We put it together, it ended up being $1,000. So our goal is 2,000, and we think we can hit that very, very easily. So there are some ways that the community can help us out. So one is can I talk about this next thing you think, or is that something you wanted to talk about?
Either way, it doesn't matter to me. Whatever you'd like to do.
We have our community member. We have community member. Actually, so let's tell a little bit of a story. They're not the tier 3 subs, they're the tier 3 X whatever subs, whatever. So we shortened it to tier 3 subs because I didn't understand what the part of it was. So actually what the story of it is that they were subs to a particular streamer, and that's who they were. But a member ISO contacted us through this through the tournament, and after dragging me kicking and screaming across this line here, we have merch, ladies and gentlemen. We have freaking merch. One of our partners for this event is going to be Skulls. It's going to be SK. So Skulls with a Z. It's SKULLZ.com. And we've been working over the past 3 months. And again, this is mostly my bad. This was we contacted them, or they contacted us early enough to kind of put some stuff together to IV3. But if I'm being honest, I was just kind of I'm like, who's going to buy a shirt with the Will English IVitational on it? Well, apparently 3 people already have. And so if you type the ! Merch in the chat right now, so I'll do this while we're here. We've put together something really, really nice for what we're calling the classic collection. So if you take a look now, we have some very interesting jerseys put together. They're inspired by the Overwatch League. It's something that I've always wanted, and I was willing to spend money for a one-off, but they talked me down off of that ledge. And so just to talk about real fast, it's completely customizable, including the flag, the background, everything. It's all set from there. And thank you to Skulls.com for putting this together. So again, they won't make it in time for IV3, but once we get the pre-orders and stuff together, they'll come out. They're going to be nice and crisp and everything else. And on top of that, we have merch that's going to be IV3 related. So the idea is that this custom, this classic collection jersey will be available for a limited time. And then the IV3 merch that we're going to put together, which will come out in the next week and a half, from what I understand, will directly support the prize pool for the Invitational. So that's going to be there's going to be a jersey that's going to come out with there. There's going to be hats. There's going to be mugs, mouse pads, the whole flipping 9 yards. They got all sorts of stuff over there, and so that will be coming out in the next couple of weeks. And every purchase from that, proceeds from that will directly fund the prize pool, and we'll have an amount towards the end of the show. So that's 1A. That's one way to support the Invitational. Number 2, we've had a number of organizations reach out to us, the ones to provide private donations to kind of either the prize pool or to the production side. Please do. Like we're open to that. We can work out any. So like this is the official call to sponsors, ladies and gentlemen. This is the official call to sponsors. That if you want to sponsor the Invitational, we've got plenty of things that you can sponsor and put together. So the last piece that I will say is that we have a potential $2,000 sponsor deal that we're just trying to finish up before we say anything about it. But if that's the case, that's going to go directly into the prize pool for both sides. That puts us halfway to our goal for both of those tournaments. And there's other ways that we're looking forward to as well. So we've got merch, we've got sponsors, we've got crowdfunding, which is through some of the merch as well. So and these are all options on the table available to us now because we have the custom license. So as long as so as long pending Blizzard approval, making sure we're all kosher with it, that's going to come out, and that directly helps us. And I can tell you right now, for everything that's through the Invitational right now, goes back into the production. It's not going into my pocket. I'm not looking to get rich off of this. This is literally to support everything we're doing right now, and it's not cheap. We're definitely in the range now. We're like, okay, things are starting to cost money, and we want to definitely put up the best show we possibly can, and we've done this all without asking for a single dime, right? We've not asked a single thing or whatever. So till now, but we're at the stage in the phase now that we need to start taking care of some bills, and so those are the ways you can do it, and we'll provide more distinct and whatever as time goes on.
Gotcha.
But yeah, anything during that moment, like IV3 stuff, subs to the channel, the whole 9 yards, all goes back into the tournament. And hopefully by the end of this, like I just imagine right now, if we get above 2,000, right, Jack, like we will be bigger than Open Vision right now, right? And like I don't know what the ceiling is. I've been told the ceiling is like somewhere along like 15 or 16 grand, but like I don't expect that right now. But we definitely are. We're definitely in the running. So like I said, we have a potential $2,000 sponsor. We have a potential $1,000 sponsor already in the works. We just need to kind of, again, we need to sign some paperwork before we announce it or whatever. So that's what's on the table here, ladies and gentlemen. So it's not so when we say we have in the top 32, we're doing all this stuff to make sure it's the best quality tournament we're putting together. We mean it for a reason, because that's this is not a penny. We're not playing for pennies here, ladies and gentlemen. This is some serious cash that's available through the Invitational, and it's all thanks to you. It's all thanks to you and the community helping us out putting this together. And like I said, I wouldn't have come up with it myself, but I really appreciate it. But so thank you also. So look at more details about that will come out in the coming days. But the merch stuff, the merch store is up. Oh, and I forgot to mention, the merch store is up now. So if you do have exclamation point merch, that is available now. You can order that now. So and hopefully by the end of the broadcast, we'll have more than 3. Because I mean, again, I didn't think people would buy any of it, and that's just my own. That is my own demons. This is me being real and raw. I'm like, we sold 3 more this morning than I thought was 0. So thank you, I appreciate it. All
right, let's go ahead and do a quick recap of everything, because you kind of jumped a little all over our script here, Will. So
sorry about that.
No worries. It's insane. We got a lot. I told y'all this is going to take a while because we got a lot. We got a lot to talk about. And thank you, Coach Bird, for getting your merch. Thank you so much for supporting the Invitational. We appreciate it. So let's go ahead and recap all of that: pricing, merch, sponsors, stuff like that. So our goal for each region is $2,000 UST. That is not the limit. That is the goal. Right now, we currently have $500 at a minimum set per region, we know we can bust that. This is the ways that you can help contribute. You can contact us to sponsor, whether you're an organization or an individual. We will, you will get a spot, as part of the Invitational's kind of like rotating sponsorship. We might actually have to build one of those now to put into the stream so that we have that going on. So thank you, Thunder, for your jersey order. Thank you so much. You're going to be dripping, as you said earlier. You be dripping. But if you want to sponsor through direct donation, if you're an org or an individual, you can do that. Reach out to Will to do that. If you have any suggestions for sponsors, if you know anybody, if you have contacts with folks, reach out to myself or Will. Let us know. We have a couple of deals that we're working on the table, but that is not the limit that we are working with. We have like a list that we're going through, and because we've been preparing for today, we haven't been able to finish that list yet. So we're actually going to be looking for a lot more sponsors, because the goal is that we want to give back to the community, and we want to give back to our staff. Like that is the overall goal. And then lastly, as Will said, the merch. So the season 1 jersey offered both in home and away colors, as well as customizable on the back. I'm going to have a good old Captain Jack with big old 87 at the bottom, because I'm a boomer. All the proceeds from that are actually going to be kind of the foundation for paying our production staff. We truly believe that paying our production for the time and the energy that they put in, this is a craft, folks. People have to work very hard at it. They have to practice, and they don't nearly get paid what they deserve for the work that they do. So we want to make sure that our production staff is paid well and paid what they deserve. So that is going to be the foundation for that. It won't be the limit, but it will be the foundation for what we will provide for them. And then the season 3 merch, as Will mentioned, we're not exactly for certain when it's going to come out, but it definitely will be out during IV3. All of that will be added to the prize pool. And again, it's all t-shirts, hats, stickers, whatever merch that Skulls has on its normal website. All of that will be available with the Will English Invitational logo to be able to put on it. So, whatever you want, you're going to be able to possibly get it with Will's face on it. So if you're the Will SIMP, this is your chance. Just saying. And all of that will be divided evenly among the NA and EU prize pools. So now that we got through that, we have to go through the boring part. I'm sorry, folks, because we got to talk a little bit about the rules. The rules, again, you can hit !rule book in the chat. We have not completely finalized it, and I'm not going to read through all of it. I'm just going to kind of highlight some of the aspects. So first off, I worked hard to make you a table of contents because I know people said that it was hard to find things. You're welcome. And then everything that we discussed about concerning the schedule is there. So the note at the top, and this is very important because we've had people that have complained about this saying, we have to wait long, or we didn't know that we had to play like soon after. No excuse this time. It's in big and bold, and it's right here. This schedule is a tentative series of events designed as an outline for the day, and when certain events ideally should begin. So we have taken the time. We have opted for what a typical first to 3 best of 5 series plays out to, and we have timed it accordingly. But of course, not every match will go to map 5. There are technical issues and things like that. So due to how matches are played out, technical issues, etc., teams may be asked to either play earlier or later than the schedule dictates. If your team has a break in their schedule due to one of these issues, please check in with a designated invitational admin for instructions on how to proceed. All right. Yep. So we are going to have, we currently only have 3 admin staff focused on running the tournament aspect right now. We are looking to grow those numbers. So again, if you are interested, contact Will or myself, and we'll try to get you on board so that you can help us out with that. Because I know that was another issue that was brought up in the feedback, is that, you're trying to get a hold of us, but Will and I, we're on camera sometimes, or we're running production. Like we can't be in all places at once. So we're going to do the best that we can, but more hands makes like work. So if you can help out, that'd be great.
So just one thing I want to throw in there. So we did listen to your feedback, ladies and gentlemen, on all of this. And so what I can tell you is, like, here's what we did to IV3 from IV2. So again, if you're in the group stages, you only have to play one day, and I mean this time. Like last time we were trying to set it up that way, it didn't work out. So literally, when you play in the group stages, you play it all the way out, right? So that means if you decide that you want to straddle and play in another tournament on the same day, you understand something. You're putting your tournament at risk, right? You're putting your invitational spot at risk. So understand something. When we schedule it, plan for it. Those other tournaments, they can wait, right? They'll be there tomorrow. The Zotac Cups, the MSI Cups, they'll be there next week, right? So if you're on Saturday, you play on Saturday, and that's it. That's the list. If you're playing on Sunday, you play on Sunday. That's it. That's the list, right? If you make it out of the group stages, right, you've got a whole another week. You've got another week until that next Saturday to think about it, to play it, whatever, and then you're going to play it out. You're going to play the majority of your matches for the group stage if you make it all the way to grand finals. If you're one of the last two teams, and you would hope that by that point you deserve to be there, then you have to play on Sunday. That's it, right? So literally, you are in control of your own destiny as far as the Invitational 3 is concerned, right? That you have control of your schedule and time, because like I said, we're not straddling this across. We're not playing the different days. It's literally going to be very clear. We're not going to have a progression on the same day. You'll note, and also too, our commitment to you all is that we're going to provide you as much information as possible about your matchups and everything ahead of time. So because there's some other changes we've made in relation to that, but we are committed to providing that information for you. So there will be some randomness involved, but not but it would you'll definitely know, once that randomness is over with, you will know all the way through. You should have a schedule and a timing all the way through to the rest of the tournament. So go ahead.
Yep, we're going to be trying to keep you as well informed as we possibly can. We know that that's been a little rough in the past, but we're giving a lot less leeway to certain aspects now. So we expect that if you sign up for this tournament, you are dedicated to being in this tournament, or you will forfeit your spot. No questions asked. So tournament qualifications, very standard for most Overwatch tournaments. Minimum 6 players to be signed up as a team. You will have 4 additional eligible player spots as alternates. We haven't written out the ringers rule just yet, because that's something that we've had to deal with in the past. But we will have a rule that discusses ringers and kind of what that looks like. We do have it listed that all matches will be played on PC version Overwatch, but technically, with crossplay, and since all of it's in custom game, I wouldn't say that it has to be. I would be very intrigued if a console team came into this tournament. That would kind of blow me away. Not gonna lie.
That would. Yeah.
So you have player eligibility, coach eligibility. Like we have said before, if your coach is a player, they are part of your roster. They are not listed as staff. If your coach is listed as a coach, or your support staff is listed as a staff, they are not eligible to play at any point. If you need ringers, substitutes, whatever, you cannot select from that list. So make sure that anyone that you are putting on your staff list is not looking to, unless you're obviously like the team captain or the GM, unless if they don't plan to participate as part of your team, do not put them in that section of your roster. Right. And that'll be up to the GMs and team captains to put together.
Again, we will be enforcing this. We will be enforcing this, number one, and number two, also your players have to be eligible. And I'm not saying that and I'm not going to speak specifically to situations that have occurred in both invitationals, but I will tell you right now that if you're banned from Blizzard for playing, you cannot play in this tournament.
Yep.
Bottom line. I can't, it's not even that personal at this point, right? It is like we have a custom license, and so therefore if so my suggestion to you all is that if you have been banned, don't tell me you've been banned. And and while you can't basically make another account to cheat anyway, don't do that either. Because if I find out, right, then there's it's a lot more on the line than just that, right?
Yeah.
And then also too, this is coming from my lips, your entire team gets banned, all right? If you tell me beforehand, we can work something out, or we can talk about it or whatever, it's an issue. If you find out after the fact that you've played a match and I find out that this is going on, your entire team gets banned. Okay, and that's it. That's the list. And there are people that cannot play in the Invitational at all because of this. So I'm deadly serious. You hear the words coming from my lips and my mouth. If you have a problem with that, come talk to me. But with everything that's going on right now and the Blizzard Hustle license that we have, part of that agreement that I have made, that I have signed a legal document for, is that players have to be eligible. You have to have eligible accounts. You cannot be banned. Not even soft banned. Not even like, okay, you've been banned by Blizzard, but I decided not to compete again. Not an excuse. Everything. And so if you feel that way, if you feel that strongly about it, if you think that's going to be an issue, there are plenty of other tournaments you can play in. Not this one. So I'm sorry to jump in on that, but like I needed to have a strongly worded like look, you know,
it's all right.
Like I'm not joking about this. This is not a joke. This is not you know, so hopefully this is the last time I have to say that. But anyway, continue on.
Yep, and just like Thunder said in the chat, you gonna be in trouble. But needless to say, we are also creating additional ways to help us out with that, because we're going to hold teams accountable for their actions. So as part of this, as you go through page 3 on the rule book, at the very end of that section, it says participants agree to the terms and conditions in this rule guide and provide any and all information required by Invitational staff needed within the bounds of the tournament. We're not asking for your socials or your credit cards, folks. We're just asking for your player names, pronouns, stuff like that. All right, so it's nothing serious. Team leaders, either team managers or team captains, will also be required to acknowledge and sign our official rules acceptance form. If you know anything about contenders, they have a form that literally says, we have read the rules. If we screw up, we are out and we understand why. You will be signing that on behalf of your team. So if a player on your team screws up and you are found to have known about it, you will be held accountable. That's the last. That's Dad Jack coming out. All right, so don't do it.
Yeah. So here's the thing: A, don't cheat. B, don't cheat. C, if you're gonna cheat, don't get caught. You know.
Don't tell them that. I mean, needless to say, more than likely you will get caught. I'm not gonna lie to you. We have folks that are always paying attention. So check in for every day of the tournament on page 4. Very straightforward. 15 minutes prior to the beginning of the day's events. So if you're EU, it'll be the EU scheduled time. For NA, it's the NA scheduled time. You have to be in Overwatch and in your team's designated voice channel. You should already know who your first opponent is, so ideally we would also like you to be in lobby with them by the time that you are officially supposed to start. Right. And all players must remain in the Will English IVitational Discord voice channels. You will have designated voice channels for your team during the participation of the tournament. We have also modified the rules from IV2 that coaches are allowed to be in the chat and see Discord screen share from the player's perspective. But coaches are only allowed to speak in between maps and during pauses. They are not allowed to give any advice whatsoever. Again, we are watching. We will know.
Yes, and most coaches that have requested this know this already.
Yeah,
they already.
That's pretty standard.
They know. They know the rules and they know the standard. But if you're a new team to the Invitational, if you've done this kind of like this, haven't done this kind of this format before, that's standard across all tournaments. And so congratulations, you guys got your coaching stuff back. But again, I still think that if you have to argue with me about the coaching rule, you're going to lose anyway. So that's just my own personal opinion. But but you know, we've definitely like based on feedback, we've brought this in. But that means also don't abuse it, right? So the idea is, again, if we find that you're being abused, that's, you know, I think it's just doubly as bad. It's just but yeah, you know, that's just my own personal opinion. So we'll go from there.
All right, so page 5 covers the event day overview. We've pretty much gone over this as to what each stage will look like. So if you want to read that in a little bit more detail, I go into a little bit more detail about the North American group draw. Basically, the way it's going to work is that we'll draw all 16 teams for the top 16. And then starting from the top down, so starting in seed 1, going all the way to seed 16, each team must have a representative present on the night of the draw show. It doesn't have to be the whole team. Just has to be one person representing the team, because we're going to contact them and say, okay, it is your turn this is the list of available teams. You have 3 minutes to choose.
Yes.
And then, we're going to be doing stuff on stream. We'll have analysts talking about, who might choose who and whatnot. What would be the good matchups to see? Like, we're going to be taking care of, we won't be rushing you, but you will be timed. So you will only have 3 minutes to respond. If you do not have a representative there, or you do not decide during those 3 minutes, you will forfeit that spot and you will be moved to the bottom of the list. Your seeding won't change, but your opponent will just be decided by whoever's left over. Because obviously, if you're in the 16th spot, sorry, you don't really get a choice. You just get whoever's left. So, but you will essentially take that 16th spot from that person. So, and then everything else is covered in there. Tournament structure, very standard, 2-2-2 roll lock format, competitive settings. We don't have, it goes into the qualifiers, the group stage, playoff formats, goes into great detail. Oh, that was another thing that we wanted to talk about. We are also trying another little new thing here. We know that y'all didn't like us picking the maps for you last time around. Well, we fixed that to a certain extent.
It makes it fun, though. It makes it fun.
Well, we're still gonna make it a little fun for us. All right. So for the group stage format, you will actually be locked into a predetermined map pool for the group stage. So teams will still be allowed to choose maps. The first maps have already been decided by the Invitational admins. So for the winners quarterfinals, will be first control map will be Nepal. For the winners semifinals and losers round 1 is Oasis. And for the winners finals and losers semifinals is Busan. So those will be the first 3 control maps, but each map after that is just within a certain order, and you can only pick from the 3 maps that we have listed. So map 2 is hybrid, and teams can choose between Blizzard World, Hollywood, and Numbani. Map 3 is escort, and you have the choices of Dorado, Junkertown, and Route 66. Map 4 is assault, which you have, of course, Hanamura, Temple of Anubis, Volskaya. We know this. And then map 5, back to control again, is Busan, Nepal, and Oasis, but you may not repeat the first map that was chosen. So if you're in the winners quarterfinals, you make it to map 5, you can't choose Nepal. You got to pick either Busan or Oasis. And that decision is made by the losing team of the previous map. So for instance, if you are the team that loses control, you choose map 2. You get to choose the hybrid map from that pool. Winner decides whether to attack or defend first. And that's the way the rest of that match goes. So once a loser has been decided, that's the way it goes. And then obviously if there is a draw, it is just based on the previous map. So say you go into hybrid, you draw at 3-3, then the loser of the control map prior gets to pick the next map. The winner of the control map prior gets to pick attack or defense. So it's something that we've seen kind of around the scene. It allows us to have a little bit of fun, kind of restrict it just a little bit, so that we get to see your adaptability during the group stage, but it also gives you a little bit of a chance to choose. And then during the playoff stage, it is a completely open competitive map pool. So everything that is currently available in competitive. So no HLC, no Paris, with the same format. So the control map will be decided by the higher seed to start off with. The loser of the control map picks the next map, and all of that is outlined. It's the same order: hybrid, escort, assault, control. And then going into the grand finals, we're tweaking this a little bit, but currently what the rules set states is that map 1 is decided by who has the most successful playoffs run. So based on your map differential, you may be the one that your team may get to pick first if you make it all the way to the grand finals. If you're both tied, if you both stomped every opponent all the way to the grand finals, then we're just flipping a coin. But we're not doing anything else. There's nothing else to do. So, and then it is going to be, like we said before, a 1st to 4. So map 2 is hybrid, map 3 is escort, map 4 assault, map 5 control, map 6 escort, map 7 control. And then it's not listed there. I'll make sure to put that in there later, but it will just be a rotation of escort control. after that. So whatever remaining maps that have not been picked yet, we'll keep going until somebody wins.
Yeah.
So I've seen this format utilized up to 9 and 10 map series.
Oof. Yeah, that's
It's not
nuts.
fun for the casters that have to do it, but is it fun to watch? All right, so general gameplay settings. We're going to have the match settings. You're going to be provided with a lobby code to be able to utilize, and it's going to have what all the settings should be. You should always double check the settings. We give you the lobby code to help change those settings, but you need to double check them to make sure. Substitutions and ringers, it's going to be our standard rules. Again, we're working on the ringers rules. Spectators, there are no spectators allowed in game unless they are part of the production staff, part of the administration, or via the coaches rule. So they're going to be watching through Discord screen share from their team perspective only. And then we have rules for pausing and disconnects. Reporting scores will be the same. You'll report scores through the replayed code form that we'll put together. So we'll have it all laid out for you. All you have to do is put the map and the replayed code and who won, basically, each map. So personal conduct. Don't be a jerk.
Yeah.
Don't cheat. Period. I'm not going to read all this. That's all it says. No show policy. You don't show up in the allotted time, you forfeit. Ta-da. I'm not going to read it out. You want to read it out, you can read it. Co-streaming and rebroadcasting. We encourage you, if you're on the mainstream, please have your folks support the mainstream, because the more attention that we get, Will's making the way up to partner here. I'm just saying. So any and all help would be greatly appreciated to try to get to that goal. But not only that, it just supports the community. It just brings more eyes in on the Invitational as a whole, so that when you get to those playoffs, it just becomes that much bigger and better of an audience for you. So, but obviously, if you're not being streamed by one of our production teams, you're more than happy to do so. Just make sure that you have included, that you're participating in the Invitational, that you make sure to raid the broadcast afterwards. We appreciate that if we're live. And streams must be on a 3-minute delay, 180 seconds. So we don't want a stream snapping. All right. You snipe with the Widowmaker, not with the streams. And then lastly, we cover who the admins are. Currently, it is Will, myself, and a new addition to our team, our logistics coordinator, Alex Yoshi, is joining the Invitational family and will be helping out with administrative duties. He's been helping me out with the rule book, setting up player sheets, things like that. So all that stuff will be available to teams as they're signing up. It discusses all of our responsibilities, all the things that you should expect from us. We're here to help you. We want you to succeed. We don't want you to be surprised by anything. So if you have a question, do not hesitate to ask. There is no stupid question.
Yeah,
all right.
Not only is not asking stupid questions, we are here to help. We have to be we have to be a hard ass about certain things, because we have to deal with trolls and people that want to skirt the rules. But here's the thing: help us help you, right? If you have a question, more than happy to it. And what me and Jack have said all throughout this year, we're open to feedback. Part of the changes we are making for the Invitational 2 is based on direct feedback from the community and stuff like that. So do not hesitate. I know my name is Will, and it's on the tournament and everything, but don't hesitate. Please bring it up, because who knows? I might have an answer for you, or who knows? I may change my mind. Now, some things may be too late, whatever. You can't say change the result of a match because of how you felt about it. I can't do that for you. But if it's reasonable and it's respectable, and if you respect my staff, who knows, you might get a lot further than just whatever. What I don't want, what I don't want is for people to play through the tournament and say after the fact that we didn't care, we weren't paying attention to X, Y, and Z. We actually do. We actually we actually do care about this, and that's why we're willing to go the extra mile to put that together. I'm really appreciative. Even in the last Invitational, we had some disagreements. We had some matches that had to be played on Sunday. We changed the entire format of our Sunday show based on an issue that we were willing to resolve. That's how committed we were to this whole thing.
Yep.
Just like, you know what, we made a mistake, we changed the entire format, and we still made it out squeaky clean. So the thing is, again, you never know. You never know. We might run into something we even expect, right? So just like let's work it out. But I'm appreciative of everyone being reasonable and allowing us to do some kind of that work. But outside of that, that's kind of the baseline for me. It's just like, help us help you. We're here to help. We're here to answer any questions from now until when it starts, and even during the show. We'll provide those resources for you.
Yep. And again, just don't be a jerk. Our staff are here to help you. If you're jerks to them, you don't get to be part of the club anymore. All right.
Nope.
Plain as day. All right.
Yeah. Playing in this tournament is a privilege, not a right, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely.
Like you can clip that and put it on Twitter. It's a privilege, not a right. So if you're here, you're welcome here. If you don't want to be here, if you're disrespectful, we don't want you here. That's just end of story. So.
Yep. All right. So we've already talked a little bit about the pricing. The rules go into a little bit about division. Obviously, as the prize pool grows, currently we have it set up for just first and second place. But if the prize pool continues to grow, we could expand that to third place. So just saying. That's all dependent on the community and help that we can get from sponsors. So again, if you're watching this, if you're a community, if you're an organization, individual, or a sponsor looking for an esports org that's up and coming, this is the place to be. This is the place to be. We put in a lot of hard work to make this possible. And in the end, all the rules within this document are written to cover as much as possible, but it is up at the end of the day to the Invitational admin's discretion as the final arbiters of the rules should a dispute arise. We have tried so hard to cover everything, but we can never cover everything. So at the end of the day, our word is law, period.
Right. It's like, if you find a loophole or you try to exploit a loophole, guess what? You still don't win, right? Like
slap them down.
Right. It's just like, no, it's like don't loophole. And then again, we'll also make sure that I know that not every team is here, but we will definitely communicate like, no, please use the code, people. Use the workshop code for every single match. This is not whether it's streamed or not. It's like, use the workshop code. We have lobby hosts. We have them for a reason. That's what it's there for. So
it helps protect you.
Yeah, exactly. And also, so like after the first round or so the first round may be unwieldy. We may not have the staff to cover all of the matches in round one. But from round 2-1, we should have somebody. There should be somebody in your lobby from our staff. There should be somebody in your Discord lobby from our staff, and we should have all covered. So you have multiple points of action here, and multiple points of help in all these different avenues. So here we go. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, no worries. So again, that's just going to come down to the number of staff that we have. Of course, the lobby hosts are going to be relegated to official matches first, both for the main stream and the sister streams that we'll have going on. But just so that you all know, if we can push it out to off-stream matches as well, we'll do our best to do so. And note that we're almost finished. So if you have any questions, start putting them in the chat now. We are opening a Q&A at the end of this so that if you have any questions, we're willing to answer them to the best of our ability right now. We know we've been going for almost 75 minutes now, or over 75 minutes now, because this is a lot. There's a lot going on. There's a lot to take in. So if you have any questions or there's something that's not clear, please start putting those questions in the chat. And last but certainly not least, we talked a little bit about it, but we have sponsors and partners for this tournament. Will, we've already talked about Skulls. Do you want to talk about our other two partners that are working with us for this tournament thus far?
Yeah, so again, once again, shout outs to skulls.com, SKULLZ.com. They're our official merch partner for the Invitational. So like I said, the classic jerseys are up now. Exclamation point merch in the chat. That will get you a link to the classic jerseys and stuff like that. And again, all proceeds from this and the eventual IV3 merch will support the Invitational as a whole. And I appreciate already the people that have already bought jerseys so far. Again, I think right now I can safely say we're at +6 more than I thought we were going to sell this weekend. So I appreciate that. that means a lot to me, and I appreciate that. And I'm trying to not be emotional about that, but we'll continue on.
Hang on, Will. Hang on.
Yeah, I'm hanging on. This is why we're doing this now. This is why we're trying to get this out of the way now.
Yep.
But yes, Biscoles.com, check them out. And then there's links in the chat, and we'll put that out in a tweet later on for stuff. Second of all, we have Project Gap, which they're also in the chat as well. Those are going to be our they're a production company out based in the EU. And if again, if some of the stuff comes true that they're putting together, they've worked extremely hard behind the scenes beyond what what I initially thought we were going to get from them. I was just having a conversation. I just wanted them to be the people awake during the EU to help us out, but they've done so much more and so much value. And like I said, I wish we had the stuff signed for some of the stuff that they're putting on the table, but they are going to be a huge partner for us going forward, and we really appreciate Skyscraper and Nike and everybody else from their organization helping us out. But they will be the main folks for our EU broadcast and tournament organization and all stuff. So like shout out to them. That's Project Gap. It's Project with a K. That's on Twitter as well, Project Gap, and they have definitely some other stuff. You can go check them out. And last but certainly not least, and they're lurking in the chat actually, are our friends at ELO Esports, which will also be a broadcast partner for us. Last time they brought together some of the stats that you saw during the Invitational 2, those are going to be coming back as well, probably bigger and better than ever. We're kind of working on some other surprises along those lines as well. And also to, like I said, they are the partners that have gotten us through this custom license process with Blizzard. So thank you to Zyrie and to Mirst and everybody on the ELO esports staff. It's been a wonderful partnership all year long. They've helped us with the some of the Valorant stuff as well, and they'll be a broadcast partner for the Invitational when it comes up in October. So those are the main three. Again, we are in conversations with a few others that once we get once the ink is dry and we have something formal signed, we'll announce them as time goes on, and then we also have to get them through Blizzard activation, Blizzard approvals as well, which is again what we're all waiting on. So you'll also see some stuff. Lastly, I also want to make sure to give a quick shout out to Red Gear, who all the graphics you see, including the Invitational 3 stuff, he goes above and freaking beyond for all the graphics and all the stuff you're going to see going forward. And again, I don't even ask him for this, right? I go, hey, can you put an announcement graphic together? And he puts something together like just out of my freaking mind. And this kid's already 15 years into the future or whatever. So I'm really happy that he is. I'm glad he's working for my team. Let's just put it like that. And he's also recently just got picked up by he got picked up by ELO Esports. He got picked up by Night Gaming Lounge in Chicago.
Nice.
That's going to be amazing. All
right, Mirst. All right. We said thank you. All right, you don't gotta be like that. Okay, so I'm gonna take it from you right now, Will, because I have something that I might need you to watch, and I know that you're probably gonna you might be starting to get a little emotional after that. So Mirst, thank you so much.
Damn you, Mirst.
Thank you so much for, as the streamers say, the 20 bomb. We appreciate it. Thank you for dropping that in the chat. If you did get a subscription, be sure to say thank you to Mirst and the ELO organization for that donation.
Thank you, Mirst. Thank you.
So let's go ahead and recap. While I'm recapping everything again, ask questions in the chat. I will answer them as I am recapping. So if I talk about something and there's a question you want to ask, feel free to ask, or if you want to wait till the end of the recap, feel free to ask as well. So starting at the top, qualifiers in the schedule right now. We have DePaul Esports set up for September 23rd. It's a Thursday. Going to be a basic double elimination that we know of right now. We're still hammering out the details, as well as Avidity Esports. Their qualifier is to be determined, and that is to get a spot in the top 16. If you sign up and you're part of the bottom 16, you can still play a qualifier round in order to get into the top 16. That only solidifies yourself in the tournament if you're not able to get into that top 16 spot. So just know that is a possibility. The Invitational will be doing its own qualifier round, but it is for the 32nd spot in the tournament, both for the European and North American divisions. So anyone that signs up after the 31st team, and remember, sign up is you have to have 6 players rostered. Believe me, we'll be checking this every other day to make sure that teams are rostered. And again, we're doing this on challenge mode. It's new to us. It's going to have some bugs, so please work with us. If you have any complications, let us know, and we'll try to work through it with you as well. I know the format on there and the date is different. That's limitations of their systems right now that we're also working on. So feel free to, as we're working on that, we're essentially just using this as the way for folks to sign up right now. Thursday, October 7th, North American and European draw shows. We're going to start with the EU, 32 teams, random draw, the good old invitational experience. And then we're going to move on to North America, where the top 16 teams, either by invitation or through the earning an invitation via the qualifier. Project Gap, thank you so much for the 5-bomb. We appreciate it. And thank you for donating to the your time and your funds to the Invitational. We greatly appreciate that. The top 16 will be randomly tossed about, except for Lo-Fi Aim and Solstice. They have seeds 1 and 2 already locked in as our champion, as our returning champion and runner-up. But seeds 3 through 16 will be randomly drawn, and then those 16 teams will get to choose their opponent from the bottom 16. So Lo-Fi Aim gets first pick, then Solstice, and then whoever gets third all the way on down. So hey, no worries, Project Cap. As we say, when it comes to donating to the Invitational, it's whatever y'all got. All right.
Thank you.
We greatly appreciate it. $100, $10, $1, 10 cents, doesn't matter. Every little bit helps. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. That's all I have to say is thank you. Thank you.
All right. So then for that weekend, Saturday and Sunday, October 9th and 10th is the group stage. October 9th, that Saturday, will be European and North American groups 1 and 3. It will be a double elimination, first 2, 3. Sunday, groups 2 and 4 will play through their group stage. Again, first 2, 3, double elimination. The winners' finals will be played for seeding in the playoffs. Jack, show us the rock. As you can tell, I have a new office, and this is my rock. If you want to vote on his name, go to my Twitter. I have a whole thread dedicated to voting on their name. So there you go. Anyway, so like I said on Twitter, some people have pet cams, some people do montages. I got a rock. All right. So Friday, October 15th is going to be the AllStar Showdown. Players will be able to volunteer to participate in this from both NA and EU. We want to do some basic competitive matches to start off with. It'll be like pugs. Then we want to do a talent and staff match. So it'll be invitational talent and staff, staff from the teams participating, et cetera. And then we'll end the night with some possibly community-chosen custom maps and game modes, Torb Hammer Brawl, on a paintball, 300% speed, stuff like that. Saturday, October 16th, will be the North American and European playoffs. It will be from round of 16 to the semifinals. Note, at the end of the group stage, you will know who you're playing against on that day, so you will have time to prepare. Also, remember, the group stage is a dedicated map pool. It is predetermined. It's in the rule book. Rule book in the chat to access that. And then during the playoffs is going to be all competitive maps that are currently in play. So no Paris, no Horizon Lunar Colony, no Monkeys in Space. All right. So that's going to be round of 16 to the semifinals. And then on Sunday, will be the North American and European Grand Finals. We'll start off with the EU. Have a little bit of a special show in between. Again, if you're a talent or a producer and you've got some ideas, let us know. We're looking for ideas. And then the North American Grand Finals will be after that, and that'll be the end of the third Invitational. So, but of course, we can't get through any of that without prizing and support. Our goal is $2,000 USD per region. So we want 2,000 for NA, 2,000 for EU. There currently is $500 relegated to both regions at the moment. That is coming out of our own pockets to make sure that there is something there. But there are ways that you can help support us, as through donations, through subs and bits and all sorts of stuff that are coming through the channel. That's going to get funneled in to the prize pool and to paying our production staff. You can contact Will directly to volunteer to donate, whether you're an individual organization or if you're a business that would like to sponsor the Invitational. All of those are open to private donations. If you would like, we are open to sponsor suggestions. We got a long list of sponsors that we're going through. We're working on a couple right now, but we're going to be working on a lot more as well. So be sure to be letting us know if you have any contacts that we could get in with to try to build this prize pool. Remember, we're not limited to 10K anymore. And just for a note, for those of you that don't know anything about Liquipedia when it comes to casting and producing, once we get past the 10K limit, casters and producers actually get additional points to creating their own pages on Liquipedia. So if you want to support your favorite producer or caster, that's a great way to do it. There is no exclamation donate, Mears. Sorry. Just contact Will in Discord. I covered the rules. I'm not going through them again. Exclamation rulebook in the chat. You can sign up exclamation registerNA or exclamation registerEU. Both of those are the separate links to the North American and EU brackets. Again, I know that the dates and the tournament structure doesn't match. We're working with challenge mode on that to try to get it set up properly. We're just using that right now as a sign up mechanism. Want to say a special thank you to our sponsors. The other way that you can help support us is through merch provided by skulls.com. Starting today, all the way, I'd say for a couple weeks. Again, we haven't solidified the date. This is a special season 1 jersey. It will not be offered all the time, folks, so get it while you can. It comes in home and away colors, very similar to the Overwatch League, and is customizable. So you can get your name and your favorite number on the back. And the proceeds go towards kind of the foundation for paying our production staff for the upcoming Invitational. And just so you know, orders, once orders close, it does take 7 to 9 weeks, so you won't have it for IV3. I'm sorry, I was looking forward to mine too, but when you're doing group orders like that, it just takes a little bit of time. But on average, it takes 7 to 9 weeks between production and delivery to your home, just so you know. So you'll get it in time for like Christmas. I think that's kind of cool. Gift to yourself, so to speak.
Yeah.
And then season 3 merch will come out during the Invitational 3. You'll be able to get several items: jerseys, t-shirts, hats, stickers, whatever Skulls offers, you can get Will's face plastered on it. If they offer a body pillow, you can get a Will English Invitational body pillow.
No, stop. It's not happening.
Come on, Will.
No.
You know you got some dedicated fans. You know.
I know that, but no body pills, man. No. Sorry.
You don't have to tell Will. It's okay. We'll keep it between us. All right. So, nevertheless,
thanks, Jack. Now
you're
I
welcome.
gotta go sleep at night knowing that somebody's sleeping on a body pillow next to me, and they're just gonna
Hey,
go through some Alibaba website and create one. You know,
hey,
thanks a lot, man. I appreciate that.
all the greats have their own body pillows. I mean, the online NPC has his own anime body pillow. So somebody somewhere is laying with an NPC body pillow, and if NPC can do it, I mean, come on, come on.
Okay.
Anyways, all the proceeds to that will be divided among the EU and NA prize pools. So it will close at the end of the tournament, and by then we'll have an idea of what will be donated additionally to the prize pool. We won't have the final number, but we'll be able to let you know on grand finals day. And those orders are processed immediately, so they take approximately 10 days. So as soon as the store opens, that merch you could get during IV3.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Just keep that in mind.
Cool.
A special shout out once again to Project Gap, who's going to be helping us on the EU side for recruitment, organization, facilitation, and production of the EU version of the Invitational, as well as Elo Hell Esports for statistics. For the statistics program that we're going to be utilizing through our production. That is it. Do we have any questions, chat? I've been trying to stall because we had something special in the works that we were trying to get done for today. It was kind of last minute, and so I've been trying to stall, but I don't think. Oh, we're there. Will, have you watched this?
Yeah, I have watched it. So
it's coming. It's coming. So we keep stalling.
Gotcha. I mean, like it's up to production. It's up to production. I am not in control of the sticks right now. It is up to Unibeth in the background. So
Uni, let us know when you're ready, but we'll keep stalling until then.
Cool.
Oh, it's ready to go. So, Will, is there anything else that you want to talk about? I say we give maybe a couple more minutes if the chat has any questions. Again, you can always contact us on Discord after the stream if you have any questions or whatnot. And teams that are already signed up, we'll start getting information out to you, the rule acceptance form, the player sheets, so that we can start getting information about your players, etc., etc.
Yeah. So all I'm going to say, Captain Jack, is look, man, thank you first of all. Like I said, I from IV1, from being a caster in IV1 to being kind of the right hand man, as it were, for the entire Invitational. I really appreciate you coming through. It's an honor and a blessing that you are here, and I wouldn't be able to do this without you. So I appreciate that more than you know. Like this would not like Captain Jack, ladies and gentlemen, is kind of the glue that keeps us all together. I get to focus on production and be the crazy person that I am, and doing these crazy tournaments. And this guy, goes without sleep sometimes and does that. Has a love support of his family as well. I joke, ladies and gentlemen, that like when we talk about this kind of stuff, I feel like I'm at his kitchen table. I know his entire family, his schedules, the whole 9 yards. And so thank you. I wanted to say that out loud while we have a couple moments. Thank you so much. So this would not be possible without you as well. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate you coming through. I will also say that Univeth is on production right now. He is going to be our lead producer, executive producer for the show. He's been since IV1, and a skill in production that rivals my own. Like he is also kind of like the guy. He's pushing the envelope. He kind of knows some of this stuff, and so I'm appreciative for him. And so like he'll definitely be in the hot seat again. Again, we already talked about Red Gear. Definitely on the graphics and everything else. And just once again, thank you to the Overwatch community for supporting us all the way through. The number of conversations, the number of people that have been inspired, that have enjoyed the series and everything else. I hope this is good enough. You know what I'm saying? Like I hope that this is the corner piece. This like what I've always said about the Invitational is that it's special. It's appointment time. You take it seriously. You come to compete. You already know this from the Invitational too. So this is just putting this stuff in overdrive. And so and we have the world watching us, ladies and gentlemen. Like the reason why we're taking this seriously, we're crafting this, we're very deliberate about what we're doing, is that now the world is watching us and we're seeing what we're going to do next. And so I hope you guys enjoy the show. We definitely got a month, and I can't wait. I can't wait, man. I mean, like with everything that with the amount of planning we put in this freaking thing, if we don't have fun doing this, then we're doing something wrong. And then also I'll tease a little bit that we do have sort of a date for IV4, and we're not going to talk about it now. Come
on, Will.
We have a date for IV4, but Again, we like that is also going through the same approval process, and let me tell you,
Oh
it's
man,
gonna be
you think we got a lot going on now?
Yeah, it's you know, well, okay.
Nah,
Well,
we'll hold it. We'll wait. We'll wait till the end of IV3. Really?
We can talk about it. We can talk about it.
Okay.
We've put in a custom license for IV4 as well. It's going to be the anniversary of the Invitational, so you can guess the date. So we'll say this out loud. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, we were going to be partnering with Ignite Gaming Lounge potentially to do a LAN in person. So we're hoping that at least the North American side of the Invitational going forward will be a LAN party in Chicago. So more details will be coming out in the near future. But for now, trust me, it's not just going to be a party. It's going to be a celebration, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I have to say. And leading up to that, we have other events as well that we're testing out in Chicago and stuff like that. So listen, the Midwest is the place to be. You know, we're here to stay, and you're all welcome. Like I said, like you're all welcome to come in and celebrate with us. And I hope you'll get to join us. You know, later. You know, also COVID and everything and the pandemic notwithstanding, but we think it's a safe bet for January to be kind of our thing. So either way, thank you all so much. I won't stall any further. Production, if you want to do this video again, Project Gap came in clutch and did this in less than 48 hours, and so thank you all so much. I don't know if you have any other words to say, Captain, but like I'm not going to stall any further. Time to be out the
I'm just gonna say thank you to Specky for the one that put this together, and Skyscraper for getting us in touch with them. We've been I'm gonna actually do a plug right now. We need video editors.
Yes, we do.
Like we need social media folks, and we need video editors.
No,
do we have social media covered now? Oh,
yeah,
awesome.
we have social media covered.
We've been needing that for a while too, because there's only so many of me to go around. But we definitely need video editors. So if you got talent, obviously you would be a part of the production team. So part of the money that we're raising could go back to you as well. We want to pay you for your time and what you put into the tournament. So again, if you want to be part of the staff, production, video editing, administrative, caster, whatever, reach out to us. Let us know. Uni, take us on home.
There's no escape, these thoughts in my mind. A whirlpool of wrongs, it feels so right. Fight for tomorrow, the past is behind. Take what you want and make off in the night. Young and we're reckless, you reap what you sow. Burned out both ends like the time that we sow. Faster than lightning, we're on a roll. Take me on a journey, get out of control. Ooh, jumping on the midnight train. Go somewhere I can't explain. Ooh, jumping on the midnight train. Jumping on the midnight Feels so right, oh, feels so There's no escape, these thoughts in my mind. A whirlpool of wrongs, it feels so right. to the light. Move with momentum, I know what you like. Freedom, we're chasing and climbing new heights. Taking a risk, yeah, we're rolling the dice. Faster than lightning, we're on our road. Take me on a journey, get out of control. Ooh, jumping on the midnight train, going somewhere I can't explain. Ooh, jumping on the midnight train, jumping on the midnight train. Feels so right, feels so right, feels so right, oh, oh, feels so right, feels so right, feels so right, feels so right, oh, oh, feels so you take me away. 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 Let me up with your energy.